Okay, I'm not sure why this turned off, but anyway, hopefully I didn't lose any stuff on here. Okay, so now I've decided that it just isn't looking the way I want it to. So I'm going to add in some tiny flowers down at the bottom to cover up the wires. So I'm going to go through my flower stash here and use some of my little tiny roses. I think I'll use those. Okay. So, let me see what we got here. Thinking about like putting some of them down here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So use my glue gun. And just kind of place them randomly in here. I know it's really hard to see where I'm putting them because this little house is so tiny. But, oops, yikes, 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 okay. Okay, get that little glue piece off of there. Try to readjust my little butterfly. Maybe I'll use one more of these little. Yeah. I'll use this one. Use some on this side too. Okay. These flowers are actually pretty sticky. I'm surprised because a lot of times they're not sticky on the back. And that one's sticking pretty good there. But I'm going to go ahead and pull it out and glue it in there anyway because I want to make sure that it stays because I'm going to be packaging it up and sending these back to Sa. Okay. And this is how it's looking in there so far. I think it's too cute. Okay. Let me go ahead and glue on the roof. Okay. I want to be really I want to be generous with the glue, but not crazy generous. And press it down in there. And then take my finger and wipe up some of the excess glue there. Let me see this side. Before I glue it down, I want to make sure that this is the right side. Maybe this one. Might have to file this down some. That's what happens when I get paint. Nope. Looks like I won't have to do that. Okay. Kind of hammer that in there. Oops, that hurt. Okay, so now I have my roof on. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and paint my roof yellow. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll do a different color. Should I leave it white? Should I make it... You know what? I could do a pink color. Okay. Wipe up some of this excess paint here. Okay, put my flowers back. Okay, let me see here. I know I want to use my dimensional effects. I'm just debating on, okay, I am going to use like another white coat. And I'm going to try to do a real thin coat of this white here. So I just need like a little pinch. Just to cover up any of the areas that are missing paint. Come over here on the side. And again, do a real thin coat on the little edges. Kind of worried now that maybe now that it's recording, was it not recording earlier? I don't know, but I guess we'll find out when I actually upload this. I'll be sad if it didn't work. I want to make sure I get it like real thin underneath there. Because when people look at a, you know, like look at the whole thing, I don't want them to be like, oh my gosh, look, there's some parts that weren't painted. It's not very professional to leave your stuff unfinished. So I'm going to try to make sure it's completely finished. Okay. This will only probably take a few seconds to dry. I'm probably going to use my dimensional effects to fill in this one little spot of the roof. Okay, let me find my pink paint. Okay guys, hold on. Okay. I'm just going to pull it all out because I can't seem to find my touch of pink. So I might use, oh, here it is. Sorry, it's there. No, actually this one is hydrangea. So I'm going to use that. And get out my palette knife. And I'm even going to mix this with this leftover white paint because it really doesn't matter. I'm going to change colors in just a second. Let me go ahead and, oops, mix that up. Hopefully you can see this on camera. Okay. Wipe off my spatula because I don't want all my Dimensional Effects pink. Again, I'm going to splatter some down here and mix the paint color in. Spread it out good. I'm sure there are lots of other better brands than this one because it seems like this one gets a lot of chunks in it. So that I don't know. Add a little bit more, make the color a little bit stronger. Close this up. Make sure I mix that in there really good. Okay, so then I'm going to make sure I get a pretty decent amount on the back. I'm going to take my my little honeycomb stencil and I'm going to kind of line it up. Well, I'm going to try to line it up anyway. And then I'm going to go from here and press down. And I'm going to press up without trying to move my stencil. And fill in all those little holes. And then lift it up. Okay, it did get a little messy there. You may have to come back in at some point and I may just, I don't know yet. I'm going to go ahead and wipe that up. I'm not sure if I'm really digging that. I even got little bits coming off the house, so I'm going to clean that up too. And just kind of gently push that into place. Okay. Okay, and as I said, I want to kind of like fill this little hole. So I'm going to come along here and I probably should have done that first, right? Use the top of my finger to kind of Smear it down. Come along these edges and just try to pick it up and lift it off. There we go. Probably do the same on that little corner too. Push it down a little bit. So I think that looks pretty neat. You can tell. Okay. I'm going to attempt to get some of this extra paint off here. I love using these like cheap rags. I went to one of those hair salon supply stores, and they sell like a bag of these towels, and they're pretty thick too, like cheap. I think they were less than $1 each. Come over here. I think I forgot to do the other side of my house. With a light paint. How bizarre is that, right? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to line this up again, kind of where I want it, and since it still has some of the stuff on here, it's kind of sticky. So you want to make sure there's not really any on your fingers. And then you're going to, again, do this real lightly because it's going to want to move. Again, clean up the sides. Oops. Come along here and go along the roof again. Smooth that out. And then come up here. Okay. So I'm just going to wipe up the excess. If you want to use another stencil and like maybe do something on the sides or something, you know, you can do that. I don't really think I'm going to do that. Okay. Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. Okay, I'm gonna clean this off and I'll be right back. Hi guys, well it is morning time and I am back now. Okay, so I let this dry overnight. And, you know, I think I was like being harsh on myself yesterday. I was like, you know, I really just was not liking how it turned out. And then this morning when I woke up, I was like, you know what, this is kind of cute. But it still needs some more stuff. I was going to like stop it at that And now I've decided that I'm going to add some more stuff on here because I just don't think that there's enough on here. You know, hold on, let me turn this light on. I did not realize I turned the wrong light on. My bad. Okay. So it's kind of cruddy out today, so forgive the color is not as great because I'm not getting very much light in here. Okay. So I had some leftover paper. Of course, y'all know I'm a paper hoarder. I had some leftover paper from, I think it was like this French country collection, but it was not Graphic 45. So I'm going to take this Tim Holtz Distress Stain, and it's spun sugar. I love this color. And since I have that pinky color on my roof, I'm going to stick with that and kind of go along the sides here. I really don't know if this is like how you're supposed to use this, but I had a friend of mine who's one of my swap partners, and she was telling me about all these Tim Holtz, excuse me, I can't talk, Tim Holtz products. And so I really, you know, don't know that much about them. And I know, isn't that sad? Like, I really should know. But you know, being in an art major and being in mainly art classes, we did not use, you know, scrapbooking materials or anything like that. So that's why I'm kind of out of the loop with that stuff. You know, we spend a fortune on all these expensive art supplies when really we could have just, you know, got the scrapbooking supplies. It's really pretty much the same, in all honesty. And I've even noticed that the prices are kind of the same too. I'm so sorry, I'm like choked up here. So I'm going to go ahead and Mod Podge this on here. Normally I would glue it first, but I'm a little bit impatient today. I'm wanting to get this done. I want to see how this turns out. I'm like really loving this project. I just like how quick and easy it is, and it's adorable. And I really can't wait to use this in my classes that I'm teaching. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the other side. Put that on there. And then Mod Podge over that. Now I've decided that I'm going to Mod Podge over this and give it more of a glossy effect. I don't like everything glossy, but you know, I want to, since I didn't use paper, I want to add something to this. It's just not, you know, decorative enough for me that, you know, I'm just not doing what I need to do here. So, how shall I say, there's not enough bling? That would be my best point. You know, I love everything blingy, as y'all know, and so I feel like all the bling's on the inside, and it should be. Okay, so far we have this side and that side, and I'm not going to do the bottom. And it's too late for me to go ahead. What I would have done was cut the paper out first. I would have traced it, in other words, but I didn't think about that at the time, so I'm kind of stuck like Chuck. Okay, so then I've decided that I want to add some bling on the size of it, and Sauce sells these, like, I think these are the 1/2 inch pearl flatbacks. I love these flatbacks. I'm telling you, I love them. Love them, love them, love them. Let me see if there's anything else I want to kind of add to this to give it some extra oomph. I would use my musical notes, but I actually thought I am working on a project for a young girl. I think I might have mentioned it earlier. Maybe I could do the little telephone. That's cute. Okay. I know, I'm such a hoarder of these things. I know it's bad. It's like a serious illness that I have. I could do, oh, that's cute. Okay, so I'm going to use a lamppost. I only have 2 more fences left. Okay, so I'm going to definitely have to like put it in order. Let's see, do we want altered? Do we want breathe? You know what, when I think of butterflies, I think of breathing. I definitely like that idea. Okay. So now let's see what color we're going to do this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do it green. And let me gesso this first. A little bit down here. Oh, I love this idea that Saw gave me about putting the tile down. This was the best idea she ever had. First of all, it looks neat. And I know I used 2 old broken pieces, but I needed more tile. And so these 2 broken pieces end up being larger than 1 piece. So I'm so loving that idea. Thank you, Saw. Appreciate it, girl. Love it. Okay, and we go ahead and, you know, paint the sides. So last night I stayed up until midnight watching About Last Night. I rented it from Redbox, and I got my kids the movie Loch Ness. And what was so funny is this little Loch Ness movie to me was kind of boring, and I fell asleep. I hate to say it. So I was able to like stay up till midnight last night watching the other movie, and I thought it was pretty cute. Of course, it'll never be like the original About Last Night with Rob Lowe, but I definitely think it was pretty funny. It was different. Definitely different than the first one. So that's good. I'm going to go ahead and paint the back of this because you will see it on the other side. And I'm thinking that I might, like, I don't know, draw some numbers on here. It's so hard to find like tiny, tiny stickers with numbers. Maybe I need to ask Saw to make some like tiny, tiny numbers to go on here. Like, you know, like maybe a little bit smaller than the size of the music notes. Okay. I'm going to let that one dry real quick. And of course I'm going to dig out before I do that. Where's my little poker? I tell you what, I can never find stuff in the mornings. I really need to organize myself a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to take this little fine paintbrush that I have and dig it out. I've realized that these paintbrushes, I need new paintbrushes, right? These are looking pretty creepy. They like just look nasty. Okay, let that one dry. So again, back to the about last night. Like I said, it was pretty good. Would I rent it again? No. So might want to take my advice on that one. You know, wait till it comes out. Well, actually, Redbox is cheap. So yeah, go ahead. Can't beat $1.39 or whatever it is anyway. And so, like, I've noticed that they charge more for the Blu-ray discs. And the only thing I can say about Blu-ray is that, yes, it may be a little bit more colorful, but, like, and the sound is better. But is it really worth spending the extra, I don't know, 25, 30 cents just to have a Blu-ray? I don't think so. Like, I know, I'm pathetically cheap, right? Okay. So I'm going to come back over here with my green acrylic and paint that on here. I would wait for this to dry, but for video purposes, I'm going to go ahead and paint right on top of this. So I'm like really in love with SA's new products, and I wish that I had waited on my order and got the new little telephone. I am in love with that little telephone. I want to alter it so bad. And I know Song does too, and you know, so does SA. And I'm sure there's like lots of other ladies that just totally think it's adorable. I'm like, I really love it. I really do. So I'm really excited about ordering that. And I think that that also is like a pretty decent price to do for my classes. I'm only charging like $25 for a 2-hour class. And the reason why that is because the other people that are teaching there have been teaching there for years. And of course her class isn't the same, but my mom goes there and takes painting classes, which she really doesn't even need them anymore. She's so good at it. She really doesn't need them. But, you know, she's like, well, that's what they charge for this painting class. Blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I was like, well, do they provide... She's like, well, they provide the paint and, you know, the canvases. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, well, you know, that's all good and all. And it is. But in aspect, it takes longer to do a acrylic painting. So that canvas will probably last them, you know, at least a month of painting. Seriously. And these projects are not as time consuming unless we did a large piece. And I don't want to start off, you know, some of these people may have never altered anything in their life. And if you start off with projects that are humongous, it's going to scare them off. Because a lot of people, they want instant gratification. Okay, I'm one of those. I love instant gratification. But then as you begin to learn an art and love an art, you will realize that you will enjoy spending more time doing the actual project. Okay, so what am I going to color this one? You know what? I think I have a darker pink. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to keep with the colors that I have going on in my theme here. Here we go. This one is peony pink, which looks a lot like this pink flower in here. So I'm going to paint this breed that color. Oops, I really Need to get some more paints, right? I used to make props for pageant girls, and they would be like these ginormous styrofoam props. And so, you know, they would tell me what they wanted, and I used like a huge, you know, tracer. And I used to hand draw them at first, but some things you need accuracy for. And that is the truth. You definitely need accuracy. So I did not... sorry, I'm like having a brain fart. I decided to get the tracer. But in those projects, ooh, they were like, the moms would order them and then want it tomorrow. I'm like, it doesn't work like that. Don't we all wish that? So, again, that instant gratification thing. And I really didn't charge that much for the props. So, in other words, I really ended up doing it because I loved making props. I loved painting. I end up really almost making no profit off of these. So, but it got overwhelming because I was, of course, going to school full time. And for me, I don't like to work and go to school full time. And the reason why that is because I rely on scholarships. I'm a single mom with 2 kids. I rely on the scholarships, and to me, it's important to keep a high GPA. And the only way I could keep a high GPA was to not work. You know, you just can't do everything. I'm already a single mom, so I was taking care of my children and going to school full time. I know there's a lot of people that can seem to manage to do everything. I'm just not one of those. You know, I don't try to claim to be a super mom. You know, I'm just your average kind of bear. So, let me go ahead and do the second coat on here. I know, I'm just like blabbing on. I'm so sorry. Going from movies to scholarships. Oh my goodness. That's like a lot of combo. Okay. But I definitely did enjoy making props. I especially loved using glitter. As you can tell, I pretty much put it on every single butterfly. Almost every single project I use has glitter either on the flowers or on one of the, you know, embellishments. Or I buy the embellishment with it on there already. So I'm going to let that dry. Sorry, I'm like, you know, trying to rinse out my brush. I know I sound awful. Just my allergies have been like crazy. And isn't that what Texas is for? Crazy allergies. Okay, so while that's drying, I'm gonna wipe some of this paint off my hands because I don't want to transfer this paint to my project here. I'm going to start gluing on my little pearls. Okay. Sorry, I'll probably fast forward through that. Nobody really needs to see that. Okay, so I'm going to take my pearl, take my little house, take my pearl and put the glue on there. Just be careful not to get on your fingers because I don't even know how many times I've burned myself, and I'm sure y'all have too. So I'm just kind of putting it like on the center there of the house. And I always seem to do this, like put too much glue. I really need to watch that because it just looks yucky when you have glue hanging over, you know, outside your stuff. Okay, so we're gonna do one on this side too. Make sure. So I'll do a little less glue. Okay. Okay, I think that looks pretty cute. But one thing I am gonna do is I'm gonna add some more paint on the sides here, because just on the roof, I don't want it to look pink, or again, unfinished, as I might put it. And never mind, I'm not gonna use the gesso, that's not really gonna look right. Not covering it up very well. There we go, that's much better. I really think this is turning out so cute. I really do like this project a lot. You know, like if you want to give your neighbor like a little housewarming gift, and you don't want to spend a whole lot of money, this is a great idea. This, and then, you know, make a little a homemade card. Oh my gosh, they will totally love it. You know, just kind of welcoming them, you know, welcoming them to the, I can't talk today. Welcoming them to the neighborhood. This is totally adorable. I've noticed that my butterfly keeps on moving around in here, and I'm getting worried about that. I may have to find a little spot and glue it somewhere some more, because, oops, what happens when you don't wait for it to dry. Okay. Yeah, it's just falling out of here. Uh-oh. Okay, so remember when I said about not using the glue gun on that piece? You might want to do that. So now I'm going to have to pull my flower out. It's okay, I can always glue that back in there. Of course you want your main piece to stay in there, so yep, it sure did. It just slipped right out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pull it out here a little bit, flatten this, and I'm going to move it up a little bit. So sometimes I'm not right, guys, which I never claim to be always right. That's for sure. Okay, so I'm basically, and I hate using my pliers to do this, but I'm going to hold it down there until it dries. I'm also going to add a tad bit more glue on the back of the butterfly to make sure that it stays on this piece, because I really don't want it to like fall off. That's why I hate using my pliers. Okay. So I'm going to get this glue off here real quick. Now I'll probably fast forward through this part. And get all the little stringies out of the way. Okay, what is my deal here today? This is not wanting to stick. Okay. Yikes. Well, at least on this video you're going to learn what not to do, right? Okay, so and I know I'm like bending my little curl and everything. I'm ruining it all. Okay. I'm going to add my curl back in. I'm going to lay that stick down. Okay, sorry, I'm going to have to pull it all the way out and redo this little loopy here. And I'm going to have to pull it around. Okay, pull out this excess glue here. Okay, might not want to do that. Okay, but I hope that y'all will learn from my mistake. I do not know where my poker is. But, okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to poke another hole to get that to go in there. Okay, then I'm going to glue that in there because it's in there now. I know you really can't tell at this moment, but it's there. Pull that off. Okay, now it's the pushing of the butterfly back in there. So let me get rid of all these stringies first. Okay, it worked. It worked. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. Like, I am the disorganized mama today. So I'm going to take my flower, I'm going to glue that back in there. And if this one looks too cruddy, I will use another one, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use a different one.